Hi guys, today I'm going to be talking about stealth versus visibility. I'm going to talk about the LGBT community and movements and anarchism and how all of that reflects what I'm thinking about. Like on one hand, it's like I'm a man. I've always been a man, and I believe that trans men, the head is male, and I feel like politically saying born in a female body, I don't do that. I say born in a body that has XX chromosomes, because it's like you say gender is socially constructed, but sex is socially constructed too. It's like body parts have meaning because society attaches meaning to them. And so I'm male, and with people all around, they say, oh, you're a trans man, and you aren't as much of a man as cis men. It's like, I know that's not true, but I get the desire to be seen as just a man, no qualifications, just man. And that would be so simple, so easy, but that's I understand the desire to do that, but I don't think I would be stealth. Maybe in my job, but I don't really want to have a job. I want to write a novel. I know that's unrealistic, but I have this pamphlet I got from a bookstore called The Big Idea, and I'm going to just read some passages from that reflect why I think it's good to be visible and show the world that there's not just white cisgender heterosexual males. There's so much variety. I'll just read some passages, and I don't own any of these passages. It says, printed clandestinely by the Mary Nardini gang, criminal queers from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So those are the people who own the passages that I'm going to read. Okay. Queer is a position from which to attack the normative, more a position from which to understand and attack the ways in which normal is reproduced and reiterated. In destabilizing and problematizing normalcy, we could destabilize and become a problem for the totality. The history of organized queers was born out of this position. The most marginalized trans folk, people of color, sex workers, have always been the catalyst for riotous explosions of queer resistance. These explosions have been coupled with a radical analysis wholeheartedly asserting that the liberation for queer people is intrinsically tied to the annihilation of capitalism and the state. Okay, that's one passage, and another one thing I want to talk about is assimilation. And so this is saying that assimilationists want nothing less than to construct the homosexual, and it's not even homosexual that relies, it also relates to other things like transgender or anything else that's weird, like being vegetarian or vegan or being fat or being minority race or being a minority religion. So any of that as normal, as being white, monogamous, wealthy, 2.5 children. I don't know why it says 0.5. How can you have 5 children? SUVs with a white picket fence. The construction, of course, reproduces the stability of heterosexuality, whiteness, patriarchy, the gender binary, and capitalism itself. If we genuinely want to make ruins of this totality, we need to make a break. We don't need inclusion in marriage, the military, and the state. We need to end them. No more gay politicians, CEOs, and cops. We need to swiftly and immediately articulate a wide gulf between the politics of assimilation and the struggle for liberation. And that's very political dogma, and I don't want to talk about political anything, because that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about individual choices, and choices in quotes, because it's not a choice, but it's the choice whether to show the world completely who I am as male. It's like me not having an XY chromosome. I do see that as a birth defect, and it's like, should an amputee have to tell someone they're an amputee if they're like wearing like a prosthetic leg? That's a very philosophical question. I think it's different for each person, and I don't know exactly what it is for me, but I personally don't want to assimilate. I want to stay involved with a queer community, and I don't know, like, I think I want to be out, but I'm not sure. I don't think I would want it to be stealth. Let's see, other things. Okay, it also says, we need to rediscover our riotous inheritance as queer anarchists. We need to destroy constructions of normalcy and create instead a position based in our alienation from this normalcy, and one capable of dismantling it. We must use these positions to instigate breaks, not just from the assimilationist mainstream, but from capitalism itself. These positions can become tools of a social force ready to create a complete rupture with this world. Our bodies have been born into conflict with this social order. We need to deepen that conflict and make it spread. We must create space where it is possible for desire to flourish. This space, of course, requires conflict with this social order. To desire in a world structured to confine desire is a tension we live daily. We must understand this tension so that we can become powerful through it. We must understand it so that it can tear our confinement apart. This terrain, born in rupture, must challenge oppression in its entirety. This, of course, means total negation of this world. We must become bodies in revolt. We need to delve into and indulge in power. We can learn the strength of our bodies and struggle for a space for our desires. And desire will find the power to destroy not only what destroys us, but also those who aspire to turn us into a gay mimicry of that which destroys us. We must be in conflict with the regimes of the normal. This means to be at war with everything. If we desire a world without restraint, we must tear this one to the ground. We must live beyond measure and love and desire in ways most devastating. We must come to understand the feelings of social war. We can learn to be a threat. We can become the queerest of insurrections. So, yeah, there's that. So, like, with anarchism, which I don't really know much about, I'm a newbie, but with anarchism as a guide, and when I'm talking about stealth versus visibility, like in the media, let's talk about the media for a second, how in the media there's like most TV characters are usually cis, and the representation in fiction and TV shows and movies, you usually have cis, white, straight, all those quote-unquote normal things. There is no normal. I probably said the word normal so many times in this video, and that's funny because if I had a dictionary, I would just cross it out in every single dictionary. But I think it's problematic that there aren't like transgender characters in books and TV shows, at least in mainstream. I'm sure you can find them outside of mainstream, because that's what's in the media is what society presents as this is what you should be, this is how, if you have children, this is how you should raise your children, and anything else is freakish and abnormal, and your children will be disappointing their parents if they do anything that's not presented on the media. It's like, no, like, it's like there are like Degrassi at the children's show. There's a transgender character, Adam Torres. I'm not 100% sure like how they present it. I think they simplify it a little too much. Or maybe that's just from reading like fan fiction. A lot of the people, I can tell that there's just people who are writing it because it really doesn't make sense. But I feel like there needs to be more visibility. I feel like people need to know, because like say there's like teenagers in like a small town and they have to like be bullied because, and it's not just like bullied by the students, and bullied by their parents, and then also by themselves, because they hear these things from the media and from everyone around them, and don't even believe that it's a real thing because they don't see anyone else who's like them. I mean, like, that's not a situation that we want to keep happening. It's like, it has to stop. It's like, I didn't really experience it that much because like I was not aware of myself while I was growing up. It's like I had the thoughts, but I kept myself. Like my parents, like, it was shitty at home for other reasons, and at school I was a loner and an outcast just because I was socially awkward and didn't talk to anyone. So I didn't really experience the bullying part, but I feel like because of that, because when people are growing up, there needs to be more visibility, that so people can know that it's okay and a good thing to be different. And because of that, like, this is why I have a YouTube channel, and one of the reasons also to document my transition. And this is why I think visibility is so important, because I feel like normal is such a destructive concept, and the idea that even like my friends in like Kung Fu, like, some of them will just say, oh, that's so gay, or something like that. It's like little remarks like that you don't think is problematic, and then I can't even correct them because I think, oh, you're just trying to recruit us. It's like it's just really problematic how mainstream sees people who fall outside of the norms and who are marginalized. And at the same time, it's like, just like a man, I'm a straight white man. It's like, and it's like, well, I'm pansexual, but I'm mostly attracted to women. I don't know, like, I do have a desire for people to just see me as a man, but like I feel like that should happen anyways. Like, I should be able to be visible as a trans man and be seen as just a man. I feel like in the ideal world, I could have all the benefits of being stealth and still not be stealth and still be visible. That's what I want, and I'm not sure how to create that or even how to be part of a revolution, but I definitely want to try, and I definitely want to inspire other people to try and to like research, and so I hope you guys are doing good. Yeah, this video is getting a bit too long, so peace. Catch you on the flip side.